Hello and welcome to another episode of Inside Hancock County with Mitch Gibson. I am your host, Mitch Gibson, joined by a very special guest today, somebody that's very close to me here, not only in Hancock County, but also family-wise. He is a brother of mine. We do look halfway close to the same feature facial-wise.
No, we don't.
I am a little bit better looking, but we'll fight that battle outside of this show. I think you guys all would probably agree with me. I'm not tooting my own horn, but I just think I am. But I won't lose sleep over it, and Austin might. But that's between him and I. Excited to have him on the show today. Like I told you back in one of the first episodes, this podcast is not made just for those people who do live in Hancock County, those who work in Hancock County. But I also want to make sure it's for those people who have once lived in Hancock County or currently do, who now work somewhere else. And Austin is one of those perfect candidates. Austin has gone through, at a young age, being in his 30s, that has gone through work changes, life changes, the whole 360 degrees. And I think he probably would be thankful of that happening at a young age because it's going to help him out down his rest of his path of life. So, I think bringing him on, sharing a little bit of his story, and then also maybe diving into some conversations him and I have had recently in regards to, going into the new year, what are some tactics and things that he's going to do a better job of that might help separate himself and his business role where he's working at currently. Austin is a 2007 Mount Vernon High School graduate as a Marauder. He did go on to play baseball at the University of Transylvania, which is in the Heartland Conference down in Lexington, Kentucky. Some of you might be familiar with that school if you haven't. They are it's a very competitive baseball conference in Division III level, where Austin then transferred and played his last couple of years at the Marian University, downtown Indianapolis, and went on to start his career just shortly after that into the baseball field. So Austin, I'm ecstatic to have you on the show. I didn't expect to have a family member or brother this early on the show, but I think this, with what our conversations have been recently, I think a lot of people can gain some very cool, positive information and success from this. So appreciate you joining me. If you wouldn't mind, just giving a little bit of backstory about your job time frame, where you started out, what'd you do right out of college.
Yeah,
where was your passion out there, and then how does it change, and where you stand now in your job field?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, thanks for having me on the show. I am surprised you brought me on so that everybody can see that I am better looking.
Yeah, right. And this one will be on YouTube. The first show, I really messed up. Video failed. That's on me. I'll take full responsibility for that. But yeah, as you can see here, the better looking one. I'll let you guys decide that. Hey, leave a comment. Heck, I don't care.
No, but anyway, yeah, thanks though, Mitch, appreciate it. But yeah, kind of how things started out for me after I graduated from Marian, 2011, 2012-ish. I started my own company, had the opportunity, kind of landed my lap a little bit, so I ran with it, and ran a baseball facility here in Hancock County, Greenfield, for about 4.5 years, and kind of got burnt out on it a little bit. Baseball was my passion growing up, and obviously playing throughout high school and college. I really thought that was going to be how things were going to end up for me till the day I retired. But kind of got burnt out on it relatively quickly, and I had the opportunity to get out of that business and kind of start a different career path. Really had no clue what I wanted to do, what else was out there, because baseball and sports are my life. But landed in the commercial services industry, more specifically working with commercial HVAC companies, plumbing companies, and electrical companies, and that went really well for me. Had a lot of good experience, gained a lot of good experience. Just really couldn't find the right company that had all the people in place, and it just wasn't a good fit for me until I landed where I'm at now with the Jack Lurie Group, and I truly, honestly feel this way, and I've told people this till I was blue in the face, that the company I'm with now is who I see myself being with until I retire, as long as they'll have me.
Right.
So really thankful and happy the way that my journey has panned out, and just truly grateful to be where I'm at now.
And I think, like you just said, it's when you really find out who that where your fit is. And I think when I had the first episode with Andre, it was you start out not knowing what you want to do or where you're at, and you do go through those time frames, and you may spend as much time as you think you do knowing, hey, this is the career path I want to go. This is exactly what I want to do. But I bet you, and I want to do a case study to find out the percentage of people that think that they're going to go into the career they are, and they never do.
I bet it's single digits.
And it's not even close. And I bet it's up in the 90 percentile range. And I would probably be pretty happy if I was even close to that. But I bet it could be even higher than that. And you hit it right on the head. If you're not happy with where you're at job-wise, or where you're happy with life, and I did say this again in episode 1, stop what you're doing, rethink and revisit what your considerations are. Because if you're not happy with your job, you're not going to be happy with anything you do. And then when you have that feeling of, yeah, I'm not happy, but also I know for a fact this is something I want to. This is a job that I want to retire in. I think that's when you realize things hit home. And don't get that mistaken from having a fresh job and you've worked there for 6 or 7 months. You're really excited. Oh, this is it. I know this is the job I want to be in, because it is fresh. Every time someone gets themselves into something new, it's fresh and new. It's exciting. It's something different. And then next thing you know, you get yourself 4 or 5 years on the road, and you're like, holy cow, this is not what I want for the rest of my life.
Yep.
And so I challenge you to really just dive in and make sure that this is something you want to do. But also, I was listening to a podcast the other day. It's okay if you're right now, you're still searching for that specific place or that specific job. It's okay to go do some trial and error stuff. Go work a part-time job. Go wait tables. Go do whatever it is, and be able to still have some residual income but still in the night times have a little side hustle. From like when you get home from work from 6 to midnight. Obviously, you've got family, kids. It's easier said than done. But designate some time of yourself. Have a little side hustle. Whether it's this podcast that I'm doing, whether it's wanting to learn more about, starting my own business, whatever it could potentially be, spend some time developing that or job searching. But from that 9 to 5 job that you're doing, put in your full effort. Put in your full effort, and then when you've got the time in the afternoon or the evening, designate a time to have a little side hustle or figure out what you're going to do. But don't just jump into something quickly and then realize, oh, I need a job, I need money. Yeah, it's okay, but don't just jump into something and put your full force effort into saying this is going to be my career path when you know in the back of your head that it's not.
Yeah, and I think I know it's probably a fear that I had, and people hear this all the time as well, is that you don't want to get that stigma of being a job hopper.
No.
Well, guess what? Personally, if I wouldn't have done that, I would have been miserable, right. And you're stuck in a job that you don't like, and then you go home and you're miserable, and it carries on to your personal life. And I think that's just something that people get engraved in them, that you don't want to go from job to job to job to job, but sometimes you have to.
You do.
And like you said, trial and error. Got to find out where you fit in, where your place is in the workforce, and don't be afraid. Don't care what other people are going to say about the path you choose. It's your path, your direction, your choice.
Right, and I did say that. There's going to be a lot of things that are just going to repeat and be so repetitive, but they're so impactful and so motivational. It's not just coming from us or coming from me. It's coming from someone else that I've heard it from. And I hope that's what you can get out of this, is you can then pass on some positive information to somebody else, whether it's via some type of social media platform, starting your own podcast, starting your own vlogs, starting your own blog, whatever it could potentially be. I just hope it brings something motivational to you. And if it wasn't, I think, would you say if it wasn't for you hopping around like you did, you probably wouldn't be put in a situation where you are now.
No, absolutely.
Both job-wise and life.
Yeah, absolutely not. And I truly believe, and people say things happen for a reason. I partially buy into that, but at the same time, you got to make your own path, and you can't be afraid to make risks, take risks, make changes. And yeah, like you said, I'm extremely happy with where I'm at now. And looking back, could I have done things differently? Probably, but still, it's been a journey. I've gained a lot of knowledge, gained a lot of friendships, business mentors. So you just never know where things are going to take you. You just got to do it and make sure you're happy with what you're doing.
I agree. And going into like your path towards where you're at now, with your path of life, even that's you've obviously gone through some things life-wise. I mean, not to go into fine detail of what those are, but the times where was there a time in your life where you just straight up just hit freaking rock bottom and kind of came to realization, maybe not right off the bat, but came to realization and said, you know what, I need to wake up, I got to get my stuff together, and next thing you know, you're down the path to where you probably need to be. Yep. You can probably say that you've hit that rock bottom before.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, through through some of the circumstances and life situations that I've had to deal with, yeah, definitely you find yourself in a dark spot, dark place that you feel like you might not be able to overcome. But yeah, I mean, you definitely have to find a will and realize that what I'm doing is not working. I've got to make a change, got to better myself, and just make it happen.
Right. And to be honest with you, and we've all been through that, and I hope there's an episode. I hope there's an episode that comes soon that I can explain to you guys, where I, flat out hit rock bottom. And when you hit rock bottom, it's kind of that whole situation of, when shit hits the fan, it hits the fan, and it's how you're going to react to that, compared to, how am I going to react to when shit hits the fan, or am I just going to continue to let it just fling it around and continue to go with it? And that that could happen with your job. That could happen with your personal life. That could happen with your love life. Whatever it could potentially be, it may happen. But it's how you react to those times that's going to make the times like these be a little bit easier for you. Or when you come face to face with that path again or in that future, it's okay to know and to be down. So if you're if you're at the lowest, if you're at low, I can guarantee you there'll be a time that there's positivity coming your way. But you've got to stay the path. You got to stay the course. You got to give it time. You can't just give up and say, you know what, I'm done. I'm going to move on. I'm going to try, I'm not going to try anything different. I'm just going to sit here, lay on the couch. And, going back to episode 1, what Andrea said, she said there was times where she didn't even want to get up out of her bed. She didn't even want to get up off the couch because she was flat out embarrassed that she didn't have a job. Mm-hmm. When she was going to surround herself, go to dinner with people, with her husband, and everybody had successful, good jobs. And she didn't want to be around it because she felt very low and almost like she was not welcome because she didn't have a job. And, that's with somebody that's running a successful not-for-profit right now in the community. So don't think just because you've hit rock bottom and you don't have a job or whatever that potentially be, don't give up on it. So that's a challenge for you, moving forward with life. I'm going to flip 360 degrees here because I know this is a conversation we've had either on a day-to-day basis and I know for a fact week to week. And being able to find a person or some type of content on social media, whether that's LinkedIn if you're in the business field, whether that's Instagram, whether that's Snapchat, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. Find some social media influencers that you can gain some positivity from, because I know for a fact if it wasn't for me, following Gary V on all types of social media, I would, I wouldn't have inspired me to be able to put content out at scale every single day. And to the point now where if I don't post something every single day, I feel like I have failed. Mm-hmm. And one of my last videos I posted on LinkedIn and Instagram was talking about who cares if you post one thing or if you post 30 things and you're worried about, I got 400 likes or I got 1 like this time. That 1 like you got, or out of those 400 likes, there might be one person that got some positive content out of it. And if they did, you did a good job. And that's how I feel. If I put one thing out, and I have impacted one person, I feel great about it. I know I did something great. You may never know. The return on investments, you may never know. Mm-hmm. And it may someone comment and say, hey, I really appreciate your post. That post was awesome. It made me feel some inspiration. That makes you feel good too. But just having that thought of, if I make this piece of content, or I make this piece, or this Facebook post, if I impact one person, then I've done something successful. And I think that goes hand in hand with what you're doing. Yeah, it didn't take me. I wasn't posting maybe once, or I would put a little quote here, a little quote there, and you're seeing it. If you just take a couple seconds and put some graphic design work behind it, which with the little app that I showed you to use, you can just change the way people look at your post like that. Yep. And it's true, but it didn't come from me. It came from me learning from someone else, and now I can learn that and I can pass on the information. That's what it's about. We're all in this game to help each other, and I want to be able to help you out, help him out, help her out, help the community out, and helping them grow as a person, and also helping them grow spiritually and also business wise.
Yep. No, absolutely. I think when you and I first started talking earlier this year, I mean, obviously I'm around people within my company and also some training camps that I go to that posting content on social media platforms is a big thing. It's a hot trend right now. I don't think it's going away. But like I expressed to you, a fear of mine of doing it consistently was the fact that, one, I was worried about what other people are going to think or say about what I physically have to say. And you told me, don't worry about it. Who cares? If you genuinely feel that way about something and a passion of what you're going to say, then just say it. Who cares what anybody else has to say or think about it? And me really thinking about that and taking your words to heart kind of have gotten me back on the horse to start trying to be consistent about what I'm putting out there, because it is a must. But it's just the general fear of not knowing what people in the community is going to say about it. And
screw it.
Who cares? Just do it.
If I say shit, and you got, I don't. Don't worry about what you're gonna think. I mean, it's I'm using it as an adjective, for goodness sakes. Like it's because I'm passionate about it, or if I'm saying I'm going after it with a passionate feel. But then again, like you said, I didn't ask Shelby. I literally I'm the biggest. I was the biggest. I still am, but I'm working on it. I was the biggest people pleaser. Oh, I cared about what Johnny said. I cared about what my neighbor said over here. Why? Why should you care if you're doing something that makes you happy? But on the flip side, if you're trying to create content, that's totally different, because you're worried not only about what people in the community are saying, but you're also trying to use that platform to maybe sell a service, sell a business. When I started taking the platform on all aspects and not using it to try to sell business or sell work, because that's not what I'm trying to do from it. What I want people to get out of it is, one, positivity, things that I learn and do on my day-to-day basis that I can share with them that may help them on their next step or their next journey. And if it wasn't for me, like I said, finding those influencers on social media or on Facebook or wherever it could have potentially be, I wouldn't have been able to pass that information along.
Right.
And you're getting there, whether it's one time a day, whether it's 14 times a week, whether it's one time a week. Start somewhere and push yourself to do more. When you're posting 5 or 6 times a day, and that's what I'm saying, and this is where it makes it positive, and go ahead and shoot me a DM, message me, email me, text me, I don't care. You can find my information all over my platforms. There's ways to schedule posts, and there's ways to get around it where it's not interfering with your day-to-day work life. I'm sure people think, if you follow me, and I don't do it as much as a lot of other people do, they probably think, how does he have time? What is he doing at work? Does he have time? What is he doing? He posts on Facebook today 3 times. He created this cool little graphic or this cool video. Well, the more you take time to create content, record yourself, record your video, you're going to be able to have a content
creating
bank.
Your own stuff.
And that's what I've done. If you can create a content bank and break up and have positive stuff on a Sunday night or an early Monday morning, you can get they have a social media app that you can post it all in one place and distribute it to all. You can schedule it when you want it to come out. So don't get caught up in, oh, it's going to interfere with work, it's going to interfere with my job. No, have a conversation, or speak with someone who's been there and does that at scale. Austin, I don't know if you have any questions for me before we hop off.
Well, yeah, just one last thing, kind of piggyback on the time restraint, or people thinking that. I mean, for example, I was talking to you this morning about a new email video platform that we are implementing, or some of us are beta testing within our company. It's a brand new program that I knew nothing about. Literally got access to it this morning, and within 10 minutes, I'm sending out video emails. It's not as time restrained or time constrained that people think.
No.
I think it all goes back to just that you either don't want to do it or you have the fear of doing it. And like Mitchell said, I do feel better about posting stuff now and putting content out there after just doing it a couple times. It does make a big impact. You're not always going to see the returns on the front end, but all you're trying to do is, like you said, reach as many people as possible.
Yeah.
Even if it's one, but also trying to strengthen that network. And I think that's where I sometimes get too salesy as well, whether it's a conversation or an email or whatever it may be. But all I need to focus on is the intent of what I'm trying to do, and that's trying to connect with people, build that relationship, so that maybe sometime in the future, a business opportunity or business partnership strikes up.
Well, that makes you think too. I mean, it's like if there was someone who really inspired me, and I loved getting the content from them and hearing what the stuff that they're putting out on a day-to-day basis or once a week, and I think, you know what, if he's a business owner or a coffee shop owner or whatnot, so that dude, that's who I want to go buy my cup of coffee from. That guy who's doing things, for the community, or that guy who's doing things for Maybe he's just doing it for the sake of his heart. I mean, for example, the reason why I'm doing this is because it makes me happy to be able to, one, sit down and do it. I love talking and I'm in front of a microphone. I love people knowing, and hopefully they can gain something from the content. But that's the person I want. And it may, like I said, it may not happen overnight. And at the end of the day, I don't care to gain business. I don't want to gain business from this. Because if it wasn't for someone telling me and me listening and watching the stuff that they're putting out at content at scale, I would be still stuck in the bottom of the hole trying to figure out what can I do different? What can I separate myself? And I think once you get to that, one, not caring about what other people think, and two, having that thought and thinking every single day, what can I do today to separate myself from my competitors or from others? And if it's posting a video a day, if it's posting 3 things a day, whatever it is, you're going to have to spend some time on the back end or early on the front end of the day for you to produce that stuff, to put it out, and then at the end of the day, someone may contact you and say, hey, I saw that pretty cool post. I didn't realize that you were a commercial flooring rep, or I didn't know that you did commercial janitorial. So yes, the second you're trying to sell your service on social media, I think you're going to fail.
Yeah, people will find you if they have a need and they see your face or messages in front of them enough on the platforms. They'll reach out if they have a need,
right.
But you don't have to try to push it upon them because they will find you.
Right. And I guess real quick, I don't want this show to get about of what they do or what their business is, but quickly, one, give us some information on how people can, first off, what do you do now? How can they get in contact with you? And just a little bit of overall information before we depart here.
Yeah, absolutely. So the company I work with is called Jack Lurie Group. I have 2 locations, one up in Fort Wayne, the other one here in Indianapolis. Company started about 70 years ago by the owner, Jack Lurie, first started the company. And now his son, John, runs the company. But yeah, we specialize in commercial flooring, commercial janitorial, and also we have now a growing interior construction division.
Well,
so yeah, we've got a wide array. Basically, how our VP tells me is that anything inside the exterior walls, we can do it for you guys. So check out our website, jackluriegroup.com. I'll see about when Mitchell posts his video if he can leave my contact info on his page. Just if you guys do need to reach out, definitely get in touch with me. But yeah, thanks again for having me on the show, buddy. I really appreciate it, and I'm gonna go hit the golf course.
Any local businesses that you right now have as any customers that people that may?
I'm not gonna give you all my secrets, but yes, I am doing business right now with a large automotive manufacturer here in Greenfield.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you joining the show. Like I said, I want to continue to have great conversations with individuals. Austin was one of those. If you have somebody that you want to hear, listen to, or see on the show, please make sure you point in my direction or leave me comments. Don't forget, obviously, to subscribe to the show. Hit the subscribe button right now. Also, follow me on social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, and also Facebook. Look forward to the episode coming up next. Once again, thanks for joining me. Appreciate you, Austin. Hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your day. Always remember to carry passion, enthusiasm, attitude, and effort. And remember that you can make a difference somehow, some way, every single day. Have a great day.